Hello everybody, welcome to Poly Games. I'm your host Joseph, and you might say, well Joe, where's the set? Don't worry, the set's coming back. But today what we're really talking about is the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller, and we're going to answer that question of, is this controller worth $69.99 US dollars, and if you're in Canada, it's anywhere between $90 to $100 Canadian fake currency. So that is insane for you guys up north. So let's get right into it, shall we? First things first, you're gonna say, well, isn't this controller just a copycat of the Xbox controller right here, right? The Xbox One. You'll see that the button layout, even the grips, are kind of angled the same way the Xbox One controllers are. And at face value, yes, they have the same button layout. The Nintendo Switch adds a extra button in the center of the console, and yeah, that's about it, right? But when you actually get your hands on it, you realize how comfortable this controller really is. And it is insanely comfortable. Your fingers fall right into place of this controller. Your grip forms naturally on the controller. It just feels like a really good hefty controller. Two, when I talk about the feeling of this controller, to me it actually doesn't feel like much of an Xbox controller or Microsoft controller. It feels actually more like the Wii Pro controller with the grips, and the Wii U Pro controller had a beautiful baby. It feels like when I'm holding on to these grips here, it feels like a more fatter, wider version of the Nintendo Wii's Pro controller, and that is a good solid plus for that. And overall feel and quality wise, it feels like the Wii U controller for some odd way. To me, I just get the sense of the Wii U Pro controller, of the sense of the quality and the heft to the controller. It just feels really, really nice. My positives are, A, it feels really great. It feels really balanced. No side of the controller feels like it's heavier than the other side or lighter than the other side. It feels great, and it actually feels like you are holding something. You know, the one cardinal sin of controllers is don't make them as thin as air, and we saw that with the Axis controllers from Sony with the PlayStation 3, right? Or the 6-axis, rather. So again, you want it to have some type of heft, and this controller has a type of heft to it, in between a Xbox One or PlayStation 4 type of weight to it. It feels really nice. The analog sticks, to me, actually harken to the DualShock 4's analog sticks, where they're concave, but they're also concurved in the center, and that's how these actually kind of feel as well. They kind of are also a bit wider than both of their counterparts, which to me is a big plus because I love these bigger thumbsticks. To me, I have, like I said, big meaty claws, and the thumbsticks just feel so nice to me. It also has NFC. It also has that HD rumble that the Joy-Cons have. It has everything the Joy-Cons have, except you can't separate it. And it also has the D-pad that has been sorely, sorely missed from the Joy-Cons. And then last but not least, the battery. And to talk about the battery is really the reason why this thing is $69.99. The battery is super impressive. I bought my Nintendo Switch last Friday, and this controller has gone the extra miles, and I only needed to charge it yesterday and for about a couple of minutes, and then I was able to play for a good hour or two. So again, this controller not only charges insanely fast, but holds a really good charge as well. 40 hours USB-C, meaning it's going to charge way faster than the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One controller. And to me, those are positives. So it feels great. Thumbsticks I like. Great D-pad. And then also the USB-C battery. Amazing. Those are 4 great things about this controller. But there are some negative things. I don't want to paint a beautiful picture about this controller. There are faults with it. And to me, the biggest fault is the bumpers. Check them out right here. And that's where you kind of get to see the cardinal sin of this controller. So close to being so good. These thumbsticks, they only depress this far down. Which means if you're playing a shooter or a twin stick shooter, this is going to kind of be a little bit of annoying to you. To me, I like the longer pressed triggers, because to me, I get to control my shots or control my zoom of a scope or of a gun, and I get to control that better with analog sticks like these rather than this little clicky button. It feels weird. I'm not a fan of it. And to me, the bumpers kind of feel a little mushy as well. I'm not a fan of any of the buttons up here. That is the one thing I don't like about this controller, and it's a major thing about this controller as well. I almost forgot that there is no audio jack feature on this controller because the Nintendo Switch doesn't support it. That kind of really sucks when you're playing at night. Like I said in my last videos, you don't want to wake anybody up. You put your headset on, you're able to play, get the full experience. Can't with this. That kind of sucks. So, positives, D-pad, analog sticks. Feels great in your hand. Battery and USB-C charging is insane. The downside is these triggers kind of suck. No audio jack. So with all that said, is this controller worth $70 American? Well, you gotta actually kind of think to yourself, am I playing this more in my house or on the go? And if you're playing this in your household and your console is your home console, you're not taking it on the go, then this controller becomes, to me, a necessity. But if you're only playing it on the go, and that's the most of the times you're going to play this controller is on the go, then this might not be actually worth it for you. But in terms of, is this controller overpriced? I actually don't think so. I actually think $70 isn't a bad price. I changed my mind, world. Compared to the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4 right here, both cost anywhere from the price range of $55 to $65, depending on what color you get for it. When it comes to this controller, it's $70. You get a 480-hour battery life and a quick, fast charge, where as this controller, it runs out in like 5-6 hours to me. And the Xbox One controller, you have to pay an extra $20 for an extra peripheral, or else you're in AA battery city right now. And that sucks. It really does. So with a 40-hour battery, yeah, this thing is worth the $70, is the more expensive and lacks some of the features that these controllers have, but is definitely worth it if you're doing just solely a home console experience, or if you have the extra cash. Yes, this will definitely be worth it. I've had a lot of fun with this controller. It is, to me, the way to play at your home. And that's it. This is it for the Nintendo Switch coverage that we've been doing. Thank you for staying patient with me as I get to review this and get to know this controller a little bit more. We will then put them up against each other to see what controller this generation is the best controller. To me right now, at the moment, all of them have evolved rather nicely to their peak. I feel like the Xbox One's the best Xbox controller. I feel like the PlayStation DualShock 4 is the best PlayStation controller. And I definitely feel like the Pro controller for the Switch is definitely the best Nintendo controller so far. So, with all that said and all that out of the way, if you need more Switch coverage, let me know in the comments section down below what you would like to see. And if I find it redeemable, I will make a video on it. And let me know if you want to know and see more Switch games and accessories down below, and I'll do it. That's how we roll here. It's what you guys want, and I'll answer it. So with that said, if you like this video and you're into gaming news, gaming first impressions of games, consoles, hardware, whatever, and unboxings of games, hardware, then Polygames is the place for you, because here we don't care if you're gaming on a PC, on an Xbox, on a PlayStation, on a Nintendo console, a 3DS, a MacBook if you're that insane, a ball and a hoop, or a hoop and a stick. As long as you game, that's the thing that matters to us here. So with all that said and all that out of the way, I hope you guys enjoy your day, and yeah, have a nice one.